Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Codebreaker. Today we are going to learn about the high order function. So what is the high order function? High order functions are the functions which accepts the another function as a parameter. You can say high order functions are the function which accept another function as an argument or return a function, or it can do both. So we'll see some example for the high order function, how high order function works in JavaScript. So what we will do, we'll take one example to understand the high order function. So suppose we have one function uh, as a wrapper. So what does this wrapper will do? It will return some value like hello. This is high order function. So and we we can say like we will call this wrapper using get message, and then we will call this wrapper as a argument into the high order function. So this argument is accepting, this method is accepting as a argument for as a method instead of some parameter. As a parameter, you can say as a argument, it is accepting a method in order to act as a high order function. So this is high order function. As we discussed, right, high order functions are the functions which accept another function as an argument. Now what it will do, it will we will console this wrapper function as a high uh, called from calling high order function, and then we will write wrapper. So it will take this wrapper as a function argument, and it will return this value. And what we will do, we will call this method get message, and we will pass this argument as a function. So here what we are trying to get that, so it this function is acting as a high order function where it is accepting one argument as a method, and it is trying to take this value, whatever the value it will return, and it will console this value here. So the one of the condition for the high order function is this, where we have discussed like high order functions are the function which accept another function. So let us run this code and see what does it prints. Okay, what we can do, we can clear this output, and we can run using node hoc.js, and you can see, right, high order function, and this is the function wrapper. Okay, so what you can do, because of this it was not printing the output, we will run the code again. So you can see, right, calling high order function, and this is wrapper is returning, this is a high order function. Now let's discuss how this will return as a function. So suppose we have any of the function, and function display message, and this method, what it will do, it will return another function. So you can say, and then it will return either as a, this is the inner function, and then what we will do, we will try to print the output of this function. So if I will print this output of this function, right, so what you will see, output. So here this method is acting as a high order function which is returning another function. So earlier what we have discussed, right, that high order function is accepting one of the argument as a function and it is printing the result as a high order function, where it is trying to call the passed argument function and it is returning the another whatever the method it is returning as a high order function, and it is trying to console the output. And other point what we have to remember, right, either it can accept as a argument as a function or it can return the function. So both of these functions are the part of the, both of these examples are the part of the high order function. Now so the first part we have understood, right, like we are trying to call the method, we are trying to pass one of the one of the function as a argument for to the high order function. And in the second part what we are trying to understand, like it is trying to return the method as a inner function to make the function as a, to act as a function as a high order function. Now if we try to print this output, right, if we try to run this code, let's see what we'll get. Clear the console and run. So you are able to see, right, calling, I think this is not saved. One second, let me save it. And if you rerun the code, so what you can see, right, output. So if you try to print the output, right, or you can directly call this method instead of printing output, and you can see, right, it is trying to call the inner method instead of calling the we instead of calling this method directly, we have defined this method into one of the variable as a function expression and we are trying to print the output. So these two parts both it satisfies like how the high order function works. So high order functions are the functions which accept the another function. So this is the first part what we saw, high order functions are the functions which accept, which is accepting the another function as a argument. And the another part was high order functions are the function which returns a function. So here if you see, right, the below method, it is trying to return the function. So both these two functions are acting as a high order function. So now what we will do, we will try to see both of these into a single example where we will try to create one uh, array and try to find it out the square or the cube of the number. In order to understand, first I will write how normal method, normal function, and then we will try to convert those method into the high order function. So what we will do, we will try to get one array, array of the number. We will take one of the variable like let arr, and here we will give some numbers 1 2 3 4 and 5. And then what we will do, we will write one method to find the square of the number, and we will pass one this array value here. And what we can do, we will loop this value and we'll try to, we'll take one of the array result, and here we will push the array value val star of val. So this, and we will try to return the result. And if you try to call this method, right, square of the number, and we will pass this array value here you can change the value as a arg, and we are pushing this number into one of the array, and it will return the output. What we will do, we will console this output and see the result. Okay, output as not a function. Okay, we can directly call this value. So you can see, right, we are getting the square of the number 1, 4, 9, 6, 16 and the 15, which is nothing but the square of the number. Now if we have to find the cube of the number, so how we have to write? Function cube of the number argument, and then a similar way we can write and then for let val of rg. Basically we are writing the same thing, but the only difference is the output, the square and the cube of the number. So val star of val star of val, or either you can write the another fashion, val star star of 3, which is nothing but that it will return the cube of the number. Now if we have to call this get the cube of the number, we'll just replace this number, or we can write one more const. We can write one more output cube of the number and pass the arr, which is nothing but the array value. And if we try to get the output of this value, so you can see, right, we are getting the cube of the number. So if you see, right, these two method, if you see it properly, we are not doing nothing, only we are trying to find the square of the number, the only difference you can find, right, and the cube of the number. Apart from this, all the methods, all the syntax are the same, right? If you see here, if you see the way we are writing the method, so what it is doing, it is just taking the two value, basically array value, and giving the square of this number, and here it is just giving the cube of the number. So now if we have to write the wrapper, if we have to write the wrapper of this method, which you can say, right, high order method of this function, so how we can write? So the only difference is val into val and val star of 3. So this is the only way we can create the difference. So we will write the one of the wrapper, and over this wrapper, uh, we will call these things into one of the method as the calculating of the power of the number, and another wrapper method would be the square number or the cube of the number. So we will try to modify this method with value, uh, in order to make this two function as a high order function, which is nothing but that it will accept the parameter as a function, uh, as a argument, as a function, and we will return the value, and it will return the value with the proper result. So let's see how we can convert this about2 method as a high order function. So now if you see, right, square, we'll just write the difference. What is the difference we are seeing? So here what we are seeing the difference, it's just a return val into val, and we will accept the one of the parameter as a val. And so here you can write some modifying into high order function. And if you see here, right, just two lines of the code, cube of the number. So here also we will accept one parameter, and we will write only the difference part, nothing else, except all this would be containing all the wrapper. It will just a similar kind of a code is present. So we will just write one common method, return val star star of 3. So if you see, right, we have just written the difference part of the code, and now we will calculate the power of the number. And here we will accept one of the wrapper function, which is nothing but the method which would be accepting as a functional function parameter. As we have seen, right, high order functions are the function which accept the another function. So here this will act as a high order function which will accept the functional argument and one of the array value, you can say arg value. And what it will do, it's the same pattern, it's the same thing it will do. Let result, as you can see, right, we are just writing the same code but only one time. And here we will just loop the number, let val of arg is nothing but the array of value. And here result dot push, it will take the wrapper, and wrapper would be nothing but the what it will accept the value. So whatever the value we will get here, wrapper is nothing but the either it would be square of the number or the cube of the number, and it will pass the whole array argument. So as soon as the number of time this will be called, right, wrapper method, suppose if you are considering, we will consider here as a square of the number. So here the square of the number would be the this is the method. If you call this wrapper as a square, so here wrapper will be replaced with the square, and it will accept one parameter as a what is the array value we are passing. We will comment for now for this two method, and then array first value is 1, so it will accept 1 and it will call this method as a 1, and it will go to this square number and it will return the result as a 1, and it will push into this array. And what it will do, just a similar way how we wrote, right, return the result. Okay, now if now second time the second value will come, what it will do, it will go to the square of the number, it will take this number and return the value as a 4, and it will push into this array. Similar way 3, 4 and 5, 9, which would be the square of the number, would be the 9 and 16, 25. Just the same way how we are writing this, how we wrote the normal method, but here we are trying to utilize the high order function. Now if you see, right, if you try to see, we'll comment this two also, this 3 lines also. And here what we will do, we will console, or you can say square result equal to power number, it's the same method whatever we wrote, and square, you have to call the wrapper method, which will which will accept as a argument as a into the high order function. So here this one is acting as a high order function, and here it is accepting as a square number as a functional argument, and another value would be the ARR value which we have written at the top. Let me cut this value and paste here so that it would be easy to understand. So here what we are trying to do, we are passing one of the square number, and another one is the array of the number, which is which would be accepting as a array argument. So basically here it is accepting as a one of the argument. one of the number as a uh, high order function, which is nothing but the wrapper of this method, and another one would be the array value. So if we try to print this result, right, if we try to print the array value, the high order method which is accepting one of the function and the array argument, so the result which we will get, right, it's the same result, but the way of writing the high order function would be the different. So let me run this code and you can see, right, okay, so it is trying to accept as a method, oh sorry, not the square number, it would be the square result. So now if you see, right, let me save this value. So you can see, right, it is returning me the same value, but the way of writing the code would be the different, because here it is trying to accept one of the wrapper function and another one would be the array value. The only difference which we found here is val into val, and another one would be the val of the cube of the number. Let me write the cube method, const cube result, or yeah, you can say cube of the number, and here power number, and here you will pass cube number comma error. And if you try to print this output, right, cube result, then you can see how the output, you can see the output, right, it's the same output, but the way of writing the code is different. So this method is considered as a high order function because it is accepting one of the wrapper function and trying to convert this wrapper method to the particular result whatever we are trying to do. There are multiple ways to write this method. I'm not saying like this is the only example, but yeah, we can write the, but the concept here you are trying to get, right. So the square of the number and the cube of the number are the two things where I'm trying to pass this value over a high order function in order to get the result. So earlier what we have seen, right, how the square of the number or the cube of the number was working. So we were writing the same code multiple times, and the only difference was val into val and the val into 3 in order to get the square or the cube of the number. Now in order to overcome this writing of the same code multiple times, we try to convert these two method into the high order function. Here high order function is accepting one of the wrapper, and it is trying to take that value and printing the result using the high order function. So I hope you might have got the concept of a high order function. If you like the video, please do subscribe my channel Codebreaker, where I have tried to explain you how the high order function works. So thank you guys for your support. Let's meet to the next video.